ends zone touchdown.
Throw down to second in time.
It's the last two possessions. What a pass. What a pass.
And the runner comes home. They got her. Up top. Touchdown.
Welcome to another week and another edition of the Big 12 Report, presented as always by Dr. Pepper. I'm Wendell Barnhouse, Big12Sports.com correspondent, alongside co-host Carter Babb, this guy right here.
That's right. Thanks, Wendell. Well, back in February, West Virginia was able to open its $24 million and 64,000 square foot basketball practice facility, giving the men's and women's team each its own practice court, along with a shared weight room and training facility. Now, over the summer, Wendell was up in Morgantown and got a tour of the building from the Mountaineers coach, Bob Huggins.
Wendell Barnhouse, Big12Sports.com here in West Virginia. We're getting a tour of the new basketball practice facility for the Mountaineers men and women with Coach Bob Huggins. Coach, give us the tour.
I'd be happy to do that. This is for the public here. The Coliseum is a multi-purpose facility. It was a physical education facility, so we had classes in there, and then you had the men, the women, wrestling's in there, volleyball's in there, gymnastics is in there. So we never really had a true home to house the greatness and the history of West Virginia basketball. And so when we did this afforded us an opportunity to be able to share with people.
One of the highlights of the lobby that's dedicated to the history of West Virginia basketball is a timeline that includes information on each team.
We got the idea from the Knicks. The Knicks, when you walked in a locker room, they had every team that ever represented the New York Knicks, and I thought, what a great idea. That's the original scoreboard. That's actually the score from the first game ever played in the Fieldhouse. That's the scoreboard when Rod Hundley played in the Fieldhouse, when Jerry West played in the Fieldhouse, when Rod Thorne played in the Fieldhouse, when Fritz Williams played in the Fieldhouse. And then we've got the backboard and the rim hanging on the other side of the building. No breakaways back then.
Huggins couldn't help but get in a dig at a good friend when he mentioned the battle his team had with Kentucky and Coach John Calipari in the regional final victory that put West Virginia in the 2010 Final Four.
You can see over here, we put this in here for a reason. This is to show how bad Kentucky fouled. They're grabbing hold of our jersey. We've retired 2 numbers, and both of those guys are Basketball Hall of Fame guys. So it's been really good. And the great thing is they come back. The Legend of 44, which is retired, of course, Jerry's numbers, it's Jerry and Rod Thorne's number and Joe Sendahar. You look at what Jerry did, obviously, and what Rod did. I mean, Rod gets 22 a game for his career. This is just a whole bunch of former players, former coaches, in some cases former teams. And it's kind of neat to come in. Bobby Hummel, I see Bobby's there. Bobby's been back, and it's kind of neat. Herbie Brooks is up there. It's kind of accomplished, I think, what we wanted to accomplish, and that is, have everybody feel very comfortable and recognized.
That's quite a facility. Anything and everything a player could ask for, and it really gives them the ability to show off what a rich history they've had with Jerry West and all that he means to that program, and so it's been really good to see that.
Absolutely.
Well, with the football season coming to an end, now it's time for the yearly awards given out to the league's most outstanding players. Wendell, why don't you give us a rundown on who took home this year's accolades?
Well, Carter, the Big 12 announces all Big 12 first team and its individual award winners, and these were all selected by the coaches, and those awards were announced on Wednesday. Kansas State swept the top 3 individual awards. Bill Snyder was named Coach of the Year. Quarterback Colin Klein was the Offensive Player of the Year, while middle linebacker Arthur Brown was the Defensive Player of the Year. And by the way, Colin Klein's also a finalist for the Heisman Trophy Award, which will be announced on Saturday. And the bowl matchups were announced Sunday. The Big 12 placed 9 teams in bowls, and that 90% participation in the postseason is an NCAA record. The Big 12 also finished with 8 teams with 7 or more wins. No other conference has more. Kansas State earned the Big 12's automatic BCS bid and will face Oregon in the Fiesta Bowl. Now, make sure you follow Big12Sports.com for all the previews and results during bowl season.
That's right. They got some good games to watch. I've always loved bowl season, especially being around the holidays, just watching a bowl game every night. It's been really fun.
Yep, great time to just sit back and watch football.
And eat. And
eat.
That's right. And eat. Well, basketball season is also in full swing now, and we've got several good games coming up this weekend. Kansas will welcome former Big 12 rival Colorado, West Virginia will host Virginia Tech, and Texas will take on UCLA as part of a doubleheader at Reliant Stadium in Houston that will also feature the two women's squads. Now here's a look at the complete schedule of games on tap this weekend. Well, with that, we've come to the best part of the show. It's the world famous, and sometimes infamous, whatever we want to call it this week. It's the world famous Shoutouts. Now, Wendell, what's fresh this week?
Fresh. Well, I just got back from the produce aisle, so we'll see what we got this week for the 3 shout-outs. Well, first of all, the Big 12 has 2 teams remaining in the NCAA women's volleyball tournament. Iowa State and Texas each won second-round matches last weekend on their home floors to advance. Now, in the regional semifinals Friday, the Cyclones, who are seeded number 15, will take on number 2 seed Stanford, while number 3 seed Texas will be hosting number 14 seed Florida. And also congratulations to Oklahoma and Kansas. Both of those schools reached the second round before being eliminated. And Tuesday night in New York City, the National Football Foundation had its annual awards dinner. Mark Semino of Kansas State and Gabe Rivera of Texas Tech were officially inducted into the 2012 College Football Hall of Fame class. And Cody Davis of Texas Tech and Nick Florence of Baylor were recognized as finalists for the William V. Campbell Award, which is considered the academic Heisman Trophy. Davis and Florence and the other finalists were each given $18,000 postgraduate scholarships. And also the Chris Schenkel Award for Excellence in Broadcasting was presented to the late Oklahoma and Oklahoma State broadcasting legend Bob Berry Sr. The final shout-out is going to cover a lot of congratulations. Oklahoma coach Lon Kruger won the 500th game of his coaching career last Friday when the Sooners defeated Northwestern State. Baylor senior forward Dana Larson won the Capital One Academic All-America of the Year award for the Division I women's soccer team. It's the second straight year that the Big 12 has had the student athlete win that award. Last year it went to Oklahoma State's Krista Lopez. And Janine Becky became Texas Tech's first All-American in soccer. She was named second team by the National Soccer Coaches Association of America and was the only freshman on the first or second teams.
That's right. Well, that's quite the list of awards, from all the sports. It's been a good fall for the Big 12. Well, that concludes another thrilling and fresh edition of the Big 12 Report. As always, be sure to check out our website at big12sports.com and follow us on Twitter at Big 12 Conference for all things Big 12. We'll see you next week.
Well, what do you think is going to happen with the Lakers this week?
Down with that.
Down with that. In bowls, and that 90% participation rate is a record for. God, let me do that again. Son of a. Earned 9 teams. God bless America. Wendell, son of a.
West Virginia will take on Virginia Tech, and I don't know the third game, and I'm going to have to look down and do that again.
Is it supposed to be the National Soccer Coaches of America?
No, it's a Coaches Association of America. National Coaches Association of America, and was the freshman. And I screwed. God, you told me I was going to screw it up. The National Soccer Coaches of Association of America. I screwed it up again. That's what happens when you get 5 hours of sleep at night and you come in nutty. You think I need coffee to be that funny? Damn.